together.
Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Cam, good to see you.
Hey, what's going on?
At what level would you put your comfort in terms of running the offense right now?
I don't think that's for me, it's just trying to become comfortable each and every day. I think it's a work in progress. I'm gonna take this mask off. I think it's a work in progress each and every day for me. Every day is a work day. Every day is another day to learn more. And I think that's an ongoing process for me. So I don't necessarily have a specific number. It's more or less trying to manage this offense in a way that I can become comfortable. And every day is a new challenge.
Next question, Jim McBride, followed by Mike Giardi.
Cam, every player we've talked to so far, when they reference you, they talk about the energy you bring to practice. I'm wondering, as the quarterback, how important is that for you to bring that energy every day and kind of set the tone?
Listen, man, it's extremely important, especially for me as a person. And anybody who knows me know that it's all about a vibe that you have to set and you curate. And in essence, we want to change that word vibe. It more or less becomes the standard. Walking into this locker room, it has been such a good energy here that I just want to make sure that I do my part. And even though we may have a lackluster day offensively, it's just my job as one of the default leaders at my position, to make sure that everybody knows we have to become better. We have to make sure we hold each other accountable. And that's all I'm trying to do each and every day. So, for me, no matter if it's coming up with a handshake, no matter if it's just jumping up and down, no matter if it's, getting in somebody's face to tell them a joke, those things may come off as me getting other people, focused and ready, but more or less, it's just me holding myself accountable more than anything else, because I go by a code and stick to the code of, if you say something to somebody, you better make sure that you're holding yourself in check as well, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Next question, Mike Giardi, followed by Mark Daniels.
Cam, first things first, where can I get a hat like that?
Mashika.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's very nice. I'm not sure I could pull it off like you can. But...
Yes, you can. You can't be scared to wear it now. It ain't gonna bite you.
I wanted to ask you, I've noticed several times here over the course of the last week or so, you pulling guys aside and working. Yesterday in particular, I think you and Muhammad didn't hook up in the back of the end zone, and like very next period, you guys pulled aside and you started to work on that. How valuable are those sessions, and what are you trying to get across?
Man, it's extremely valuable for me and my growth as this offense, continues to go. I'm just trying to take the lead of the guys that's been here before me, the Hoyers of the world, the Stidhams of the world, and I've seen that that's what they do. So if we have any type of question, I think the thing about this particular group that's so fascinating is as long as you keep pushing, they're going to keep accelerating. Being that even though we've been kind of low in the depth chart for other positions, but that does not negate the willingness to get better outside of what they were supposed to do. Meaning, with Muhammad and Jules and Doughboy, I'm sorry, Nikhil, everybody just have this mentality that, we have reps that we can kind of steal away via special teams or anything. We all are willing to do so. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just learning from the guys prior to me. Hoyer's been a great, visual for me to kind of look at, as well as Stidham. And I just wanted to, do my part in knowing that it wasn't good enough in that past drill, so we got to make it good enough.
Thank you.
Next question, Mark Daniels, followed by Andrew Callahan.
Football as well, Cam. Demir Bird was telling us that you've been giving teammates their own individual handshakes going back 2 days in Carolina.
Yeah.
When did that start, and how do you come up with these handshakes for teammates?
You know what? Everybody's different. One handshake for one person, kind of speaks to the relationship that you may have to that specific person. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I kind of, bit off somebody else's swag with LeBron. I seen LeBron years ago, have different handshakes for every single person on the roster. And I was like, man, that's pretty cool. But as I began to do that, I started realizing how my relationship with that person, certain handshakes just morph just off of, how you particularly know that person. So it's just been so fun. And obviously for the guys to get to know me and understand my energy level and knowing that, it takes one time to do it and another time for not do it, that somebody's going to say, hey, man, don't forget my handshake now, so we all have indirect and direct ways to hold each other accountable, and it keeps you locked in practices so we can keep everybody energy level at an all-time high.
Thank you.
Next question, Andrew Callahan, followed by Evan Lazar.
Hey, Cam, it's good to see you. Thanks for taking the time here today. I wanted to go back to something you just mentioned, being a leader by default, kind of your position.
Mm-hmm.
In the 2 months you've been in New England, aside from just being the quarterback, do you feel like you've established yourself or close to establishing yourself as a leader of the team?
Well, that's not something that you try to do. It just has to happen naturally. And, there's been, since day one, there's been probably some things that I would probably have stereotyped from the outside looking in, and then people probably did it vice versa with me, stereotyping the person who I am from how the media may portray certain things. But at the end of the day, that you cannot be negated off of the person who you really are, and that's what just happens. I think with our position that we play, or that I play, not many positions in sports has a default leader, and quarterback is ideally one of those positions. So with that being said, you have to make sure that you hold yourself accountable higher than a normal person, and you would want to be more of the leader that leads more by example than anything else.
Next question, Andrew Callahan, followed by Evan Lazar.
I'll take a follow-up, Stacey. Cam, sorry, you mentioned the stereotypes about maybe how you're portrayed in the media or other players. Is that just, are you talking about having an idea of who someone might be before you meet them, or what did you mean by that?
Hey, come on now. I'm not going to dive into, what we all know what I mean by that. But at the same time, there's been some things that a lot of people may have not knew about me prior to it, and and I don't want to make this like a negative annotation. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure that for me and my worth to this team, I want to make sure that I'm showing, or I am as accessible to this team as I can possibly be. And we all see certain things happen outside of the building, and we may not know a lot of things about it accurately until you actually know, and that's what just happens. So for me, I want to be as accessible to this team as I could possibly be, whatever coach needs me to be, whatever the players expect me to be, and whatever I expect me to be, I'm willing to do that and go over and beyond for that.
And thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Evan Lazar, followed by Alex Barth.
Hey, Cam, I was talking to Josh McDaniels, Coach McDaniels, the other day, and he just said that he's actually picked your brain on ways to put things in the offense to fit your skill set. So I was just wondering what that creative process has been like with Coach McDaniels and Coach Fish to use what you're good at.
Right. I mean, it's been therapeutic for me, and just knowing that these guys have been as patient throughout this process, that I would have wanted them to be. Obviously learning a 20-year installment of plays all in a short time span is been challenging, but yet I think it would have been more challenging if you didn't have the tutelage of a Jed, a tutelage of Coach Josh and Jed, and even the help of other quarterbacks. Lewerke's helped me, Steady has helped me, Hoister has helped me, receivers have helped me, and it's just been going vice back and forth, and obviously there's been some things that hasn't been implemented before, and with me at the quarterback position, in times, there is a dissertation, so to speak, of this is how we're expecting it to be. Okay, now Cam, they flip it and say, well, how are you expecting it to be? And I'll say the same thing, when we're in quarterback meetings, and obviously with this being my first year in this offense, as well as Coach Fish, those things, is something that we always ask, Stiddy and Hoister, and see what it's been like, for them in those reads. So, it's just a reciprocated attitude, from learning. It just isn't a one-way street. We all learn from each other, and I think that's the thing that puts me at ease.
Thanks, Cam.
Alex Barth, followed by Phil Perry.
Hey, Cam, you mentioned getting on the same page as some of the receivers and working with them. I'm just curious what it's been like for you working with these running backs and throwing to the running backs.
Ooh. Yeah. Berkey and Jay White, man, those guys, man, they've been extremely good. Outside of me and Damon not having the best collegiate eyesight to eyesight, he's been good too. But other than that, man, one thing that we all know, that being in a franchise or organization like this, you're going to get coached extremely hard. And, those guys are going to show up day in and day out in practice. And I think that's the thing that I look forward to. And with knowing that kind of puts the onus back on you to say, make sure that you're doing your job, and, everything else will fall in place.
Thanks.
Phil Perry, followed by Kyle Hightower. Phil, I think you're muted.
Sorry about that. Cam, just quickly wanted to ask you first. It sounded like you called N'Keal Harry Doughboy.
Doughboy. Doughboy.
What?
Yeah, well, it comes from the character Pillsbury Doughboy, and that is a specific brand that's used for caking, and the rest is history. So instead of calling him Pillsbury Doughboy, I just cut it off at Doughboy, you know what I mean?
Is that like a softness issue?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
Okay.
not. It's more or less about him and his off the field, prowess, you know what I mean, rather than on the field. None of my nicknames ever comes from on the field, by the way. Just FYI.
Okay. I just wanted to ask you that first, but I do want to ask you too, Kim. I mean, we've all seen how the quarterback reps have been split up.
Right.
And I'm curious, do you feel as though the starting quarterback job is yours right now?
Absolutely not. Every day is a work day for me, and that label is not important to me right now, because I know I have so much that I need to get better at, so much that I need to learn, so much that I need to be comfortable with. And throughout this process, that's the last thing that I'm pretty much worried about, knowing that, there are certain things when I come to the line of scrimmage, and it's just not as firing mentally as I would want it to be, rather than other plays that may be called. And I see, a person like Hoister go to the line, and he's just as sharp as it could be. And, from me asking him questions and he answered them, and, Stiddy and things like that, there's things that I know I need to become better at. And until I get those things done, everything else is irrelevant.
Thanks, Kim.
Last question, Kyle Hightower.
Cam, just looking at your social media, obviously you're in tune with what's going on in Wisconsin with the Jacob Blake incident. I wonder, have you balanced just, obviously concentrating on football and being the best you can be here, with obviously what's going on with the world and around you, and just, obviously you're a father, just to happen in front of children. Just, I'm just wondering what your thoughts are, where your head's at, just kind of balancing everything that's going on like that.
Man, it's just disheartening that, I read a quote that when you love something so much that it doesn't show you love back. I think it was Doc Rivers who said that. I may have said that wrong. But needless to say, you know, the what's going on in this country of ours at times, you know, is extremely disgusting. And until we find a fix, I think more than ever we have to unify and become one as much as possible. From the Black Lives Matter campaign, from the social injustice, you know, bringing awareness with that, and just everybody, you know, becoming more aware of certain things, and not necessarily turning their ear, turning their face with things that are extremely blatant. You know, so it becomes hard, you know, being a father. It becomes hard knowing that, you know, yeah, you know what your day job is, but yet we have to use our platform to raise awareness for issues like this. And while we're going through so much, you know, from COVID-19, you know, this is an election year with voting and making everybody aware to vote, and having issues that still are pertinent in our society and in our community, and still not seeing things done. You just have to stay focused and impact the things that you can impact the most. So for me, you know, I do try to bring awareness from the environment that I'm into each and every day, from my children, from, you know, having open discussions in the locker room, not just with all black players, you know, with Caucasians as well as whoever or whatever the race may be. You know, I think that's the start, you know, that we all can impact change in our own right.
Thanks, Cam.
Thank you very much, Cam.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Cam. Thanks, Casey.
Thanks, Cam.
How do we inspire people to lead their healthiest lives? How do we bring everyone together so that healthcare finally works for all of us? We know how. We are the how. Optum. How well gets done.
What's my retirement savings plan? Oil, baby. Oil. Sprinkler pipe. Diane!
Ready or not.
Gillette ProGlide and ProGlide Gel. 5 blades and a pivoting flex ball designed to get virtually every hair on the first stroke while washing away dirt and oil. So you're ready for the day with a clean shave and a clean face.
For over 60 years, this team has transformed itself into a championship organization. For over 160 years, our team has demonstrated a similar mentality. There are no days off. Our front lines are fortified by people who sacrifice individuality for the team. Our shelves are also stocked with the best quality products and ingredients. Our team members know their roles. We're proud to do our jobs. Shaw's, the official supermarket of the 6-time champion New England Patriots.
My Caleb sofa and love seat. With Bob's discount, you get both pieces for just $7.99.
$7.99? Are you joking?
Do I look like I'm joking?
Yes, you look like you're joking.
I'm serious.
Cool.
Get Bob's discount! How do we inspire people to lead their healthiest lives? How do we bring everyone together so that healthcare finally works for all of us? We know how. We are the how. Optum. How well gets done.
What's my retirement savings plan? Oil, baby. Oil. Sprinkler pipe. Diane!
Ready or not.
Gillette ProGlide and ProGlide Gel. 5 blades and a pivoting flex ball designed to get virtually every hair on the first stroke while washing away dirt and oil. So you're ready for the day with a clean shave and a clean face.
For over 60 years, this team has transformed itself into a championship organization. For over 100